Invited me to a meeting, a new skin meeting, and I was sitting in the back. I still remember that day. I went with another friend, and we were sitting in the back. That night was Friday night. What do you think 25 years old thinking about on Friday night? Yeah, I was thinking about party. I was going to invite John to a party, waiting for him to finish the presentation. So we're sitting there, a lot of people in the room, and John started presenting about new skin and doing the compensation plan. John was shaking. Can you imagine John shaking doing the presentation plan? I said, no, this is not happening. This is, what's he doing? Right? So after the presentation, I kicked my friend's leg. I said, okay, we gotta go out now. So when we walked out, I remember putting my arm around my friend, one of my friends who grew up in the state with us. Said, John is stupid. Actually, I used a very worse bad word, all right? And I said, okay, we're not gonna do this. John, something's wrong with John. So we left. So about 4 or 5 years after that, we did not see John at all. Okay? And if one of our friends would come from the state, John would come to come out to see us. Midnight. I said, what? How come you come at midnight? And John said, I'm in a meeting. At that time, I was thinking, 25 years, 25, 26 years old, meeting until at midnight? But now I realize, meeting to midnight is the business. I said, you're not that big of an executive. And he said, that time he was making around $10,000, which is a lot for young people. I said, no, I don't think so. I remember at the time he was 28, and he came to meet us. He said he was making 7-figure income, which is around $30,000 a month in Thailand. And that's, when John was sitting at a table, we would all say, yeah, very good, you are very good, very good. When he leaves the table, everybody talks about him behind his back. Say, oh, you don't know, lying. Right? So that was the story about me and New Skin. Always against New Skin, never liked New Skin. Didn't understand what New Skin is. I was working in Thailand for 8 years. And then I met my wife. Okay, she's here. Let's give her a hand, please. The lady changed my life to get me to start thinking about owning my own business. At that time, I was a high-level management already. I decided to gather up all my savings, open up my first company. We do trading, furniture and accessories from China. Is that a good idea? Just telling you guys right now, you guys shake your head. It's not a very good idea. So in the first 6 months, the product was selling really well. And then afterward, our product, the same design all over the marketplace. So pretty soon I was at, stock all over the house and closed the first company, lost some money. The second company, I thought, okay, maybe I should do something that can create passive income. And my dad, after he was working, was able to open a Thai restaurant here in the US. And I know Thai restaurants, Thai food. Who likes Thai food? Okay. So a lot of people enjoy Thai food. So I said, make a DVD, cooking DVD, so we can teach the world how to cook Thai food. And we did. And it was selling really well in Thailand, and we exported out of the countries. And pretty soon, technology changed our life. Guess what happened? YouTube came out. And pretty soon my house was stacked up with DVDs all over the place. So we closed our second company. And that third company, I lost so much money, I decided to open up a franchise, which is the first health drink. I realized the health trend was in, so I created my own juice, my own herbal extract and everything. We opened 10 locations, and within 1.5 years, I lost nearly $500,000. Okay, so my 4 years of experience in the business, I lost around $500,000. Let's give me a hand. At least I'm still standing here, right? So at that time, I realized that I was still working daytime and do my business at night. So I realized that I was doing something wrong. Something wrong with my thinking and something wrong with the vehicle that I was using. And I heard that John was going to expand market outside of Thailand, so I gave him a call. I said, John, are you going to be mad at me if I decide to do New Skin with you? Has anybody ever call you and say, are you going to be mad at me if I want to do New Skin with you? Show me a hand. No, right? So I called John up and said, John, you can be mad at me. John said, what did he say? No. Invited me to the Skin office, showed me his picture. That time was 8-year TV lead. I said, wow, what does that mean? I knew it was the first picture, so I realized the first picture must be very successful. Is that correct? Okay, John said, all right, this guy's clueless. Walks me to another picture. And under that picture, it says $5 million US. I understand $5 million US. But I didn't understand what it means in the skin business. So I asked a very stupid question. I said, John, what does it mean? John said, Nat, 12 years, you rejected me. I made $5 million US. That's it. You know, a lot of new people, I think you can relate to me. I still think it's not real. So I said, friend, we are friends. You can whisper to me. You can tell me the truth. How much money are you actually making a month? And John whispered a number to me and brought me down to my knees. I said, John, where's the application? So I signed up with Newskin. Give me that. That's the kind of you know, I think I would like to talk to the new people because all of you have dreams. When you come in, you want to set a big goal. You want to, you know, beat all the records. That was me too, right? I came in and said, John, what is the fastest blue diamond in Thailand? And John said, I think it was 6 months or something at that time. I said, John, I'm gonna be the fastest. And John said, yeah. That's what his reaction was. He said, yeah, good, do it. And I soon realized that it was more challenging than that. I'm not trying to steal your dream here. Some of you might be blue diamond in 2 months, in 3 months. But my journey was not like that. But I thought it was gonna be like that. So during the first 2 months, every day I talked to people. Every day I invited people. And with my job position, I thought that I had pretty good credit. People would listen to me as a vice president. And I thought that I'd bring him to John, the most successful person in Thailand, they would sign up immediately. What do you think happened? For 2 months, nobody said yes. And I remember we had contests in our team. John would put, 70 people in a room, right? And they have 2 teams competing. Who would sign up the most, new distributor, most ROI? And I was in one team, Team B and Team A. Every week we would come to meet each other, right? And they would share the score. And I hated that moment because every week when I come, my score would be 0. In the computer, they would go down, scroll down. And I said, stop, don't show my name. Every week it was like that for 2 months. Every day get rejected. Every day. And I remember the last day of the second month, I did not finish the qualification for executive. So what happened? Not great. Fall out. How things we play in our mind becomes really dramatic, bigger than life. So I was driving home and thinking, man, I'm failing again. Is this it about music? 2 months of dreaming, 2 months of, blue diamond, making $50,000 a month, dream house, dream car, travel the world. That's it. I was driving home like that. And I can remember that day my wife was working out of, Bangkok. I was pulling into my driveway and I sat in my car for like 30 minutes. That long. Didn't want to get out because if I go inside the house, 5 Japanese spa would be sitting inside the house. That was the business package. As I got out of the car and took out my key for my house, I opened the door. I don't know, it was like magical. John called that moment. And he called and he said, Nat, how are you doing? And I said, Because in the beginning, he made me promise him not to complain, ever to complain. So I didn't want to complain, but I didn't want to say good. So I said, That was it. And then John said, one sentence still rings in my mind until this time. And every time I look at a new person, and I know they're fighting, they're struggling, and they're doing everything, they're doing the best that they can, but they're not getting the result. I still remember that word. John said to me, "Now, hold your head up. Just hold your head up." And he hangs up the phone. And I walked in the house and started thinking, okay, why am I doing New Skin business? I'm thinking of my parents, I'm thinking of my wife, and I think of John, 2 months that was recruiting next to me. I'm not the only one who got rejected. John got rejected too. And then at that moment, a true decision was made that I would become successful in New Skin. I said to myself that I would never and never give up. And I know I'm saying this because many of you have gone through that journey. And many of you are going to find that moment in time. And I so much appreciate the people who are here for the first time, because you have not made a lot of money with New Skin yet. And I know many of you sitting in this room are probably sharing the hotel room with 3, 4, or 5 persons in the same room. Who's doing that? Don't raise your hand. The wife said, "Don't put it down." It's difficult to make a decision like this, isn't it? To look in the future and knowing that in our pockets, the money's not there, but you made the decision to come and see your future, to come see where New Skin can take you, to lift up your spirit, to give you the belief that you did not have in the beginning. Because this business, it takes belief. And for me, I admit it. In the beginning, I did not believe that I could be successful. After rejection, after rejection, after rejection. So what did I leverage? I leveraged all of the New Skin events. Every time I come to the event, I would sit there, I would listen, I would watch all of the great leaders get up on stage. And I remember one time that changed my whole perception of New Skin world was when I went to the Singapore convention. When I saw all of the Singaporeans and Malaysian leaders got up recognized on stage, and I saw Angela and Ray Ho. Remember that time for the 10 million? They were carried over like this, flying in the air. I was like, whoa! Wow, this is what type of recognition that New Skin can give you. So, sometimes we try to leverage with our logic, right? When our heart is not really there. We gotta, put our heart into the business, and the only way to do that is really to listen to the stories of the leaders. To be there in every event, do the best that you can, to believe more in yourself, to believe more in your people. And that was the time that I started dreaming about becoming $1 million local member, right? And to become a 5, to become a 10. And I believe that it would happen. And I believe that it would happen to all of us if we do not give up. I went for Ruby, right? When I went for Ruby, Thailand was fighting the war, yellow and red. That time? And I remember one time John said, the war was right outside of our building, very close by. Very close by, it was like a block away, right? One side is yellow, one side is red. It's like this, the street's like this. You would be scared to go drive through that place. Because when you drive through, one side had guns, the other side had guns. They were screaming, "Ah!" And this guy screamed, and this side would scream as well, right? So you know that they can fight at any time, and we have a BB, the BOM. I said, "John, are we going to organize this BOM?" In my mind, I want John to say no, because I don't want to go either. And I knew that nobody was going to come. John said, "Nah, we already announced it. You have to organize it no matter what." I said, wow, easy to say. John was not coming. Easy to say, right? So we organized it. One of my team, we went to organize it. And another person show up. The person show up was not my guest and not new to the business. It was a person driving from outside of Bangkok, already doing the business. So we were doing BOM for 30 minutes. to the people who are already doing the business. And I learned from that moment that I leveraged from John's leadership that when the leaders give their words, be committed to the words, no matter what the circumstances was. So I leveraged off from that. And like Kunton said, when we decided to be team lead, I quit my job, which was pretty good paying job already, right? The minute I quit my job, the next month, whole Thailand was flooded with water. And we were in our house for 2 weeks, waiting for the water to come to decide what we should do, protect our house or go out and do something. Because we can't talk about business in Thailand, because it would be rude, isn't it? There are houses under the water and say, hey, you want to do this here? Strange, that would be the strangest thing, because people were struggling to drink water, right? They did not have water, they did not have eggs, did not have food. And my team, my leaders, their houses were under the water as well. And I remember that moment. John called again, this time driving home. Same moment with my wife sitting in the car. You know, we were thinking what we're gonna do because the water was coming. So we were looking at each other, staying quiet, and John called. The moment I got up on my driveway, I don't know if you have the security system in my house or not. You know, I'm like, keeps a watch on you, right? At the same moment, I drive up to my house, and John said, Nat, how are you doing? What's my answer? Exactly right. I said, He said, how's your team? I said, well, a lot of them, their houses are under the water. They can't even think about the business. He said, that's really tough, isn't it? I said, yeah, it's really tough. So he said, the next question, you know what you want to ask, right? He said, how's your team lead? I said, And he said, two things. As a friend, you don't have to do it. But as a leader, get it done. Let's do it now. So I look at her face, she asked me, so I repeated it again, and we just stayed silent and nod our head. We went in our house and packed our clothes, and we left our house for 2 months to work in a place that the water was not flooded, to find an opportunity where people were not affected, and we were able to close Team Elite at that time. I share you this story is, it's an old story, but it is my journey. And because the word as a leader, get it done, what does it mean? As a leader, when John says, get something done, I will listen. The thing I do the best in this business is, I'm not great. I'm not a good, prospector, presenter, whatever. But the thing that I do so well is I listen. I have egos, but when I come to my outline, I always tame my egos. I listen. And I always remember who I am and where and how I get started. No matter how big I would become in this business, and no matter how much money I would make, I still remember the first moment this person helped me and signed me up. Right? Gratitude. I think that's what we do. So, this is the journey. This is the 6 years into the business already. And, just received our $1 million circle member. Where are we going from now? Right? The game has changed. We are in New Skin 3.0. There's LTO, there's Expo, there's a Success Trip. In the beginning, it's very confusing. It's very confusing to me. But we keep on going, never give up. So, our organization was able to grow in the past year, really a big number. On this trip, I come with some people, some of my leaders that I would like to recognize for their effort, for the things that they have done in the business. Can Chirag please stand up? Good morning. These two, especially Chirag, he works outside of Bangkok. 2 hours, he works for ExxonMobil. Okay? As a factory refinery manager. He has to get up 4 o'clock in the morning. Every morning he drives from Bangkok to Sriracha. 2 hours every morning to be there to meet 6 a.m. in the morning. That's the first meeting every day. And then when he finished at work around 5 p.m., he would drive straight immediately 2 hours into Bangkok so he could do Nu Skin. He did this for 2 years. Let's give him a hand. So for the people who say they have no time, I would look at him. No excuses. Just keep on working, and every day keep on doing the same thing. And he's now a 2-year team lead. Will be 3-year team lead. Next year, $1 million for sure. Okay, another gentleman, a young lady who has changed my life. His name is Chris and Ying. Chris is born in Belgium. He's not Thai. Please get up, Chris. He's a Calvinist Thai. A lot of people take a picture with him because they think, wow, Thai people look like this. So you think he's handsome, but actually they're really confused. I'm just kidding, Chris. He's a good-looking guy. Chris came to Thailand with a dream to, because when he likes to travel the world, he told me that when he landed in Thailand, the moment he landed in Thailand, he said, this is my home. I'm gonna build a home here. And when he got to Thailand, he was living in a small apartment. No air conditioning, no internet. He got a teacher job. His salary was $1,000 to teach in university. You think that's a good salary? Not really, right? But he met his future wife. In Thailand, you have to have a good salary and a nice home to get married. So Chris immediately thought that he could change his life, so he found Nu Skin and got married. They have a beautiful house now. This year, they are diamond and 2-star creator. Let's give them a hand again. My best moment in Nu Skin was not receiving $1 million or team elite. My best moment at Nu Skin was when I was invited to be the chairperson to their marriage. To me, in Thailand, that has to be a position of somebody very, very old, right? To put that two person's hand together. But I still remember that day because they asked me to give me the privilege to be, to put their hands together. So it was that day that I joined them in marriage, and they are very happy today. Let's give them a hand again. So, I heard a sentence once. They said, to the world, you may not be somebody, but to somebody, you may be the world. Right? In Nu Skin, the whole world may not realize we are $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, $20 million, because if you walk out there, nobody knows us. But in Nu Skin, our success and our achievement is recognized by the people in this business because we realize that to be here, we have to help somebody change their life. Let's give a hand to Nu Skin. Her name's Jip. Let's give her a hand. She's an example of somebody who is already wealthy. She's owned a hotel in Thailand. It worth over $10 million. But she also decided to do Nu Skin. Even her family said, you don't have to work anymore. But she decided to do this because she believed that if she is successful, she can be a good example for her children. Who in here are mother and father? And doing this for their children. Okay, let's give her a hand. And our new star, Kunut. Let's give her a hand. Right, so I'm sharing all this story because I think all of us are represented by these people. And my story probably it may represent some of you. In the end, Nu Skin can give us all of the tools. They can support us as much as they have to. But it is us. It is our job to live our life. It is our job to fight to become successful in Nu Skin. It doesn't matter how hard you hit. It matters how hard you get hit and you still get up. It matters every time you fall and you get up. In Nu Skin, I hope that you all become successful and use new skills to leverage to make your dream come true. And see you again in 2017.